It's okay. It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. Off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle so they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun
don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one, not the off your mic, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Depends on the time you are watching this video. This is Maiyegun live. Remember, as you are joining me, right? If you are joining on Facebook, share with your friends, at least for the numbers of those that will see this. And if you are watching on YouTube, remember as well, share with your friends. And don't forget this too. That's on YouTube. So happy Sunday to every one of you from wherever you're watching me from. This is Maiyegun live. And if you, today's Sunday, 10th of January, 2021. So you are welcome. Let's see, what did I put on? Oh, it should have been, oh my God, I'm still living in 2000 and, well, I'm living ahead of time. Sorry guys, I'll fix that. Okay, sorry about that. I'll fix that after the program. So it should be January 10, 2021. But I did that, don't worry. So welcome to Maiyegun's Diary today. And if you have been following the news, I've been away for a while. I was on, I was on YouTube last night. For those who managed to join me last night, that's really a discouraging headline there, but I'll fix it. Don't worry. So share the broadcast, invite your friends. So we've been reading the news. Yesterday, including today as well, you know, the news that is dominating the airwaves is the suspension of Donald Trump on YouTube, on Twitter and Facebook. Some of us are used to that. I've had my pages shut down by Facebook a few times. So, but shutting down or suspending the most powerful man in the world, that seems to be the new reality. But Nigeria, a country led by led by a bunch of rogues and criminals, are also adding their own voice. Okay, they are adding their voices to say, well, they will develop or they will continue to pursue the effort of making these fake laws to protect themselves from you, so that when social media controls what you, controls what you say and when you say it, right? They want to have laws in telling you what to go and say on social media. So social media bill, social media law, hate speech bill, all those nonsense, they are going to come to force in 2021, and everybody should brace up. That's the point. It's not going to be easy. The criminals in Nigeria who happen to be your chief oppressors, although Nigerians loved their oppressors differently, they loved their slave masters differently. Nevertheless, Nigeria, where all your rights are being taken away gradually, and they are not even hiding it, in 2021, they will do more. So, I'm going to talk about the Sowore's continued illegal detention. And we are also going to touch the insecurity in Oyo State. I'm glad I'm sharing this with my friends on Facebook as well, right? But I'm going to take a quick break, okay? Remember, if you haven't subscribed to Maiyegun's Diary Politico on YouTube, do it now, and you won't be missing anything at all. So I will be back. I have a video I'm going to share with you before we proceed, right? And this video is an event that happened in Yorubaland, where crime has now become a pastime thing for some of the, from some of the young people in the region. Insecurity, as we are going to be dealing with Fulani terrorists who are now, engaging the Amotekun in Nigeria, Oyo State. So I'm going to talk more about that, but I will leave you with this video quickly, and I will be back in a moment. We'll start again. 1 second. Let's get up. Yeah, watch this.
Funkano. Nǹkan kọ́nà lè ṣiṣá lọ́wọ́ Masuru ní wà mí bẹ́ẹ̀ni ẹni tó jẹ́ kí n máa wọ́n rí mọ́ sí tí mo rún rárá mẹ́rin rárí ẹnìkan ló sọ fún mi pé n tó rárá o tó tàfẹ́ ni tó gbé fún mi nìyẹn bẹ́ẹ̀
bẹ́ẹ̀ni Masuru Tajude bẹ́ẹ̀ni òótọ́ ni ẹni ló mú ẹnìkan á fún mi bí ọ̀rẹ́ rẹ̀ òun látàrí rẹ̀ fún àfà ẹni ló mú wá fèmí. Mi mọ tí wọ́n jọ sọ bọ̀ ìgbà àtọ̀dọ́dọ̀ mi lọ́dà ṣẹ́jú sí mi pé òun sáfẹ́ kápá ni.
Kí lẹ fi pa pè lórílẹ̀-èdè?
Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì lélẹ̀.
Tàkọ́kọ́
obìnrin ní tàkọ́kọ́ yẹn. Obìnrin yẹn mi ni mo dá mọ̀.
Báwo lẹ ṣe pa àtàkọ́kọ́ àti kejì báwo lẹ ṣe pa wọ́n?
Bàbá ti pa fún Ọlọ́run náà ni.
Ẹ fún Ọlọ́run.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ẹ wá lẹ́yìn ìgbà wọn wá gé ẹran díẹ̀.
Látàpá àti ẹ̀fẹ̀ hàn tó bá nídìí.
Ẹnikẹ́ni tó mú ìyàwó dà yìí.
Ẹni tó mú ìyàwó ó kò ní. Lukman ló kọ̀ ẹ̀.
Ṣé wò yà?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Kí ni ọ̀rẹ́ yín tẹ mú wá, kí ló ṣe fún yín tẹ mú wá pa?
Kò ṣe nǹkan fún mi.
Ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ sókè.
Kò ṣe nǹkan fún mi. A kàn sọ pé kó wá dùn àwọn pé kó wá bá wọn ṣiṣẹ́ oko. Mi ì dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé pípa ló máa láàsì sí.
Ǹdẹ̀ mọ̀ pé pípa ló máa láṣìṣì gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ṣe jẹ́.
Wọ́n nígbà tẹ́ mú dé ẹ ṣẹ́jú sáwọn pé káwọn pa ẹ̀wá lẹ́ẹ̀mọ̀ kó ló ṣe pílẹ̀ sí wọn.
Mi ò gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ló ṣe rí ṣá.
Ẹ gbójú sókè. Ẹ gbójú sókè. Gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ṣe rí pé ẹ̀yin lẹ ṣẹ́jú pé ká pa.
Mi ò sọ pé kán pa ọ́ ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀tọ̀ ni tí wọ́n sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ bẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀. Wọ́n sọ pé iṣẹ́ oko ni kó wá bá wọn ṣe ṣùgbọ́n bọ́n ṣe pa yẹn náà àwàwí à ń bẹ̀ náà.
Ọmọ ọdún ẹ ti mọra pọ̀ lọ́rọ̀ yẹn tó dún mélòó?
Ó tó bóyá bíi 3 years sá.
Ẹ ti mọra.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sá.
Bí èlò ni àti bá fún ẹran rẹ̀ yẹn bí èlò ni.
Àwọn náà ni náà mo bó ṣe máa ń lọ bọ́n ṣe. Nítorí fèmí jọ yẹn ojú bóyá 5,000 lọ.
Èlò náà fún mi.
5,000 náà fún mi ó dẹ̀ tó jọ́ kejì kan tó fún mi.
Ẹnì kejì ń kọ́.
Ọ̀gá ẹ̀.
Ẹnì kejì ní wá.
Fún mi ní ọ̀kan bẹ́ẹ̀ girlfriend wọn nìyẹn. Ẹni ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì yẹn ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ló jẹ́ ará àdúgbò lájọ ń gbé. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi àdúgbò.
Ó gé fún mi 2,000. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n fi ṣe tutù owó ni. Egunmọ̀nsí. Egunmọ̀nsí. Èmi kan fẹ́ ṣe ọ̀fẹ́ ṣe ìfúnra mi.
Really sorry that for those who didn't understand Yoruba or who don't understand Yoruba, so they were talking about the crime committed by these guys, and the credit of that video goes to the Insight Media who recorded the interview. So they killed 2 people because one Islamic cleric needed the body part of a human being. So they killed 2 people. One of them got paid 5,000 naira. That is what poverty does to you. It takes away your thinking, it takes away your brain. It makes you become less human. Feelings become a thing of, let me say, feeling becomes a luxury. That is a textbook description or example of a failed country. You all know this story. That's not just one. You've heard of many like that. I was reading earlier today that 2 young guys, they killed a girl in Bauchi and they cut off her vagina for God knows what. So that happened because in the pursuit of happiness, that your country has taken away completely from you, turned many of them into barbarians, killers, looking for happiness. So the result of the failures of government in Nigeria is now reflecting very much on every one of Nigerians in Nigeria. Those who have denied the truth about the incompetence and the criminality of those who are in charge of Nigeria to protect you, right? Those who have absconded from that responsibility. The consequences of that is that you will end up having to fight to stay alive. You will fight to survive, and you will be lucky if you see who you are fighting. In Yorubaland right now, I told you throughout 2020, I was screaming at the top of my voice, at the top of my lungs, like Yorubas. You see these stories you are reading about, people being kidnapped, people being killed every day in northern Nigeria, in the Middle Belt, and some other part of the northern part of Nigeria. I said, before you know it, we will be dealing with the same thing in Yorubaland. Not that we weren't dealing with them, but it wasn't, it wasn't as bad as we are hearing from the northern Nigeria. But I'm a Yoruba man. I told you, I said, I don't know if I'm going to be, if I will be able to live with myself, if I'll be able to control my emotion. When I begin to read the news that Fulani terrorists are now killing people in Yorubaland en masse, or it has gotten to a stage whereby villages are being ransacked and people are running away for their lives. Oh dear, it is happening already, 2021. It is happening. In Oyo State, the news of Amotekun versus the Fulani terrorists in Oyo State, that they are now, in a way, managing or trying to twist. I'll tell you what I know. And I think you should. Or let me say, it will be easier for you to believe me than to believe the liars who are going to watch you killed by living in denial, in denial, in denial. I've been screaming. I've been screaming. And I'll continue to. So what happened in Oyo State between Amotekun and the Fulani terrorists, from the report, was that, as usual, these barbarians, these invading terrorists, moved their cows, as usual, onto the farms of some farmers and some villages in a local government in Oyo State. That led to a call for help from the farmers, calling for help. Amotekun moved in. They were faced with gunfire from the same invading marauders. The story now is that 7 of them were killed. I have seen the pictures. I have seen videos. They are not content I can share with you without getting kicked out like Donald Trump. Do you understand? But many of you probably would have come across them here and there. The picture here is this. For some of you who don't understand, when events like this happens, they don't happen in vacuum. They are not happening by coincidence or anything. Nigerians, those who are still there in Nigeria today, will not deny the dangerous existence of the Fulani terrorists within our communities. They wanted to make it, they wanted to guilt trip us by saying we shouldn't generalize. But whether you like Fulani or you don't like Fulani, or whether they are coming to claim supremacy or they are not coming to claim supremacy, when they invade your land, you will react the same way. Either fight to save yourself, save your household, save your land, or run away from being killed. And every community, well, I would expect, every community is pretty much aware the danger of having the Fulani terrorists and their cows around you. The government may deny, or the government may play it down, but there are victims. We have been seeing bodies. We have been seeing victims kidnapped, freed, kidnapped, killed, kidnapped, never seen again. We have been having reports of that, even though the politicians are trying to cut it down and make it look like it isn't that bad, but it is worse because there are victims. So what happened in Oyo State was that among those who were reported to have died, the 7 people who died, or at the first instance, 7 people who died, they are not reported to be 7 of Fulani terrorists. There were also reports of farmers who got shot before help arrived. They got shot because they tried to stop the Fulani terrorists from grazing on their farms. Who does that? That should be a criminal offense, generally. You don't march your cows into my farm, feed on my crops, destroy everything, and move on. And when I try to react, you turn your gun on me and shoot at me to kill me. That's illegal. That should be illegal. But they are doing it anyway. So what are they getting? Many people got shot, and some of them died on their way escaping, apart from the Fulani terrorists who got killed too. The details of this is not clear, But let me tell you a twist to this, so that we don't just pretend that maybe we are up to, to the task. We are not. As we speak right now, Amotekun in Yorubaland, they are meant to protect the Yorubas and the territorial borders of Yorubaland from external invasion after the police in Nigeria failed. Well, maybe they didn't fail. They became collaborators with the terrorists. Do you get that now? That Nigerian police cannot arrest any Fulani terrorist and prosecute them for the crime committed. No, it won't happen. So everyone is now pretty much up in arms, trying to protect themselves from this invading powerful marauders that the Nigerian government cannot tame or prosecute. Rather, Nigerian government would rather give them land, free land, and then when they are caught killing people, they are freed, released, rehabilitated. No, when they are captured, they are rehabilitated and they are released with a pay, huge pay, that an ordinary Nigerian who are the victims, man, will only dream about. Imagine a former terrorist collecting 250,000 naira as his own graduation money and continue to collect between 25,000 and 50,000 naira every month as allowance. And you, proud Nigerian, there you are. So the government has failed. People are resorting into protecting themselves. But the truth about Amotekun is that Amotekun will only work under the command, control, directive of the Nigerian police. It's a good news. The Yorubas, especially in Oyo State, last month, the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, gave expo on the security situation in Oyo State. He told the whole world, he said, there are some terrorists crossing from Mali, crossing from other West African countries. He called them bandits. But you know who are the bandits in Nigeria? Starting from Bokwari, Oshubade, fake Pastor Ruga, the National Assembly members, the ministers and all these appointees, the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Police, the Nigeria DSS, the Daura Secret Service, and all other criminal organizations working for them. Then you now take you to Miyetiala. After Miyetiala, you go to Alhaji Shekau. After Alhaji Shekau, you go to the Ansarus. These are the criminals who have now turned out to become bandits of different kinds and forms in Nigeria. So Seyi Makinde said, bandits are coming through the the border between Oyo and some West African countries, especially Mali. They are crossing over. And early in 2020, the Are Onoka Kakanfo of Yorubaland, Are Gani Adams, came out and he said, they have it on a very good and good authority that in Yorubaland, inside Yoruba forest, we have 1,742 verified illegal camp of Fulani terrorists. To the point that Sunday Igboho, Agbekoya in Yorubaland, and so many other security outfits in Yorubaland, organizations, they put themselves together. They entered Shaki, entered some of this forest that shares borders with Niger State. And well, some of you follow the story. They killed many of these terrorists who are living in the forest. It is a common thing. You go to farm only if you are a farmer or somebody who deals on farm produce. That's why you go to farm, Abi. In Nigeria, Fulani terrorists will take over your forest because some of you are in the city. You are living in the city. Some of us are living outside Nigeria. So you know all that stuff, right? So your forest, some of you, your family land, they are there. Vast land that nobody supervises. These terrorists comes in on bikes, right? Before now, when you see Fulani terrorists and Fulani herdsmen, you will see them with cows and guns. Now, if you see any Fulani herdsman moving his cows in your army around your village, let me tell you this: around that village, they have their camps there with terrorists who are on bikes. These guys moves about on bikes, and they don't have address, they don't have ID, they don't have anything. They commit crimes here and there. Nobody can track them. And that is why in Yorubaland, the Yorubas are expecting the Amotekun to be in those forests. The Yorubas want their leaders, their political leaders, to finance security in Yorubaland and stop those criminals in the forest. Because the way it starts is that, right, they will be attacking the villages. They will be moving from the forest closer to the villages. Then they will begin to take over some of these villages. Or when I say take over, you will begin to read stories of how some Yoruba villages and farmers are paying taxes to terrorists. And you will be reading it in Lagos, reading it on your phone in Ibadan, reading it in Osogbo, reading it in Ondo, reading everything in Ado-Ekiti. But the people living in the interior, they will be the people you will be reading about. And before you, it's been happening for a long time. But they have underplayed this for a long time as well, for a reason, for political exigencies, they call it. Political exigencies. No politician in Yorubaland want to be seen to be publicly, right? To be publicly against the Fulani's invasion and brag about it. They will come for you. That is what is now giving people concern about Oyo State now. People know this existential threat and problems. Many knows, many have been reading about it. Do you get that now? But it is now happening. When I was talking about all of this, that the reason why I've been screaming that all of you should not don't play ostrich. Don't try to play neutral. Simply because the crimes being committed across Nigeria is either not happening in your own community, or it hasn't happened to people you know, or it hasn't happened to you. Because it's a matter of time, all these things you are reading about and the victims of all these atrocities, it will get to you too, because it is like a democracy. Everybody will get his own share last. So it is now happening that in Yorubaland, we are now reporting that Fulani's men clashed with Amotekun. So the Yorubas that supported Amotekun is for them to protect and save themselves from their worst fear. Would Yorubaland turn out to become another Borno? Would Yorubaland become another Chibok, another Dapchi, or another what is that school, Kankara? Are we going to begin to read the same news, same way you have just read about Fulani men clashed with Amotekun? So when Amotekun was birthed, we were happy because it is an opportunity for, at least for the young Yorubas, young and old, to pull heads together and protect our people from these people camping in this forest. It's been over a year. This is the first time that our people were in distress, and they didn't call the police, they didn't call the Nigerian military, they called Amotekun. That's the first win in 2021. But guess what? It is just going to be a flash in the pan, because let me put it this way, Amotekun is not allowed to kill Fulani terrorists. Maybe they haven't told you. Meanwhile, if Fulani terrorists who kill our people are not fed with the same violence they gave, right? Once they get handed over to the police, they will be released back to the society. All of you are the victims of their terrorism, right? All of you will have to watch them and see them walk around so free again. This is what has been happening in the northern Nigeria for those who have stood up against the Fulani terrorists in the past, or still standing against them. They are treated as the criminals by the government of Nigeria. So Amotekun cannot arrest them and take them to the police without them being freed again. Now, this morning, there is another news. They said those Fulani terrorists who died during the gunfire exchange with the Amotekun Corps, they are not terrorists. Too. They said they are just Fulani herdsmen that Amotekun have killed. They have killed innocent people, and as usual, they will use their media and they will use all the forces. And I'm looking forward to when you probably will read in the news that they have started arresting some of Amotekun directors. This is where the Yorubas will now have to come in. Let me try and make this make sense to you. You see all these killings in the northern Nigeria, and the inability of Nigerian government to protect them, right? Inability of Nigerian government to arrest and prosecute the terrorists for the past 5 years. All that same story, all that same events are now going to be happening in Yorubaland. It is not being a prophet of doom or trying to spread their fear mongering. You already read it in the news. They will do everything to suppress it, deny it, manipulate it, confuse you, and make you believe that maybe that is not what happened, until it becomes more that you can't deny anymore. It's so bad, and it's that bad. Olatunji Babatunde, sir, my Oga from Chicago. Thank you very much for your super sticker. I've got so many comments on, and that is why I had to quickly pick this up, or else I'm going to lose that. So I'm going to read your super chats as well. Thanks so much for that long comments. I'll read them out. Thank you, Maiyegun, for all your enlightenment on the issue of Nigeria. Some of our people still believe that Fulani destroying properties and killing is propaganda because it has not get to them, especially people in Lagos. Absolutely right. Olatunji, you are absolutely right. People who are denying that it is fake news, right? Fake news, and all of that, are those who haven't really become victims themselves. So I agree with you. But do you want to be a victim, right? Before you believe that indeed Nigeria is a failed country, and in a failed country, everything goes. All of you, your right will no longer be anything. You don't have any right in a failed country. Your security will become nothing, right? Security of everything, okay? Those becomes nothing in a failed country. You either resort to self-help, self-protection, which many people are now resorting to. The Nigerian government, they didn't send Nigerian military, Nigerian police into the forest to go and get even the famous Sambisa forest. They couldn't take over that and get rid of the forest of all these terrorists, the breeding ground, the training ground for all these terrorists. All right, they are unable to do that. In Yorubaland, security report says that we have been invaded. Our villages have been invaded, right? And gradually they are taking them out one by one. And victims of this are not, their stories are not being told because of political exigencies or political correctness. Some of those who claim to be political leaders in Yorubaland, they are going to suppress this news. They are going to do everything to make it, inconsequential, as they love to put it, inconsequential. They were going to do that because if they should stand by their people and say it the way it is, that indeed insecurity in Nigeria is about to envelop everybody, including the Yorubas, we the Yorubas. Do you get that now? We are about to be consumed by the greed of the selected or selective, few who are using their connection with the power that be to bury the stories of the insecurity in Yorubaland by calling them maybe inconsequential. So for political exigencies, they don't want to look back to Bukwari. They don't want them to be seen, to say the truth about what their people are facing. That would be completely bad for Bukwari's image. So their greed is about to consume everybody. And I wish Amotekun is truly independent, and then we'll be able to really act. I'm actually glad that they indeed have guns that they can fight with, but they are not independent. They are not going to protect us. They won't be able to. They don't have the resources. The reason why Amotekun in Oyo State can do what they are doing right now is simply because Seyi Makinde has shown so much determination to protect Oyo State, or apart from the team of security guys he put together for security in Oyo State. They call them Operation wherever, I don't know. In Oyo State, going about the cities, going about the suburb, looking after the people. Amotekun are supposed to be in the forest. They are not supposed to be in town. They're not supposed to be in the city. What kind of training did they give to them? They should be in that forest, in those forests in Oyo State, clearing or clearing the entire place of all these invaders. We have seen them done well in the past. I've had the news of Amotekun's arrest of some of these rogues and criminals on bike. Many of them were arrested in Ilefe. I follow all these stories, but they are scattered, they are scanty. We want coordinated security approach in Yorubaland, because 2021, you are about to witness Borno, Yobe, Niger, Adamawa, where else? You are about to witness all these horrible things, all put together in a package, except people act as soon as. I don't see them do that. They are going after Omoyele Sowore, the man that is asking that if you don't stand up, everyone will be killed. In 2008, Sowore gave a speech, right, which I captured and I want to share with you. It has to do with what he saw then, and he thought he was involved in raising a generation that will not in any way keep quiet, where their leaders, their criminal leaders, abuses their power, fritter your resources away, and then dare you to do your worst. Sowore was doing something nice for you, for this future that is no longer certain anymore anyway. But I love this speech here, and I want to share that with you. It is a reminder. Maybe you should. And before we do that, remember, if you are just joining me now on YouTube, you know, this big tech of a thing is a big problem, I have to confess, okay? Maiyegun's Diary Politico on Facebook. Every day, I read people saying they have lost 15,000, 20,000, 40,000 their followers on Twitter simply because they supported Trump, or their Twitter is, whatever it is, accounts are being shut down, suspended. Maiyegun's Diary, would you believe it that in the last 5 months, I have not had any singular person added to Maiyegun's Diary, and I've lost over 80,000 of my likes and followers on Maiyegun's Diary. Think about that. So, however, if you are watching me on Maiyegun's Diary, on Maiyegun's Diary Politico on Facebook, and this is your first time, no will shame the devil. They will delete you anyway. But follow and like Maiyegun's Diary on Facebook, and on YouTube. It's so easy as well. On your screen right now, do this. You see? Very easy. Now let's go listen to what Sowore said in 2008. It
was interrogation time, and when we got in front of the sergeant who was to interrogate me and his other colleagues, they had written a letter that I was supposed to sign, you know, and saying that myself and other people at large were planning to overthrow the Nigerian military government. Mind you, this offense is a capital offense, and it takes a death penalty. I was 18 years old. I only went out a few hours ago with leaves in my hand to protest against the World Bank, not even the Nigerian government. And here I am now facing treason. So I said, no, there's no way I can imagine myself overthrowing the government. If I was carrying a gun, I can understand that. But empty leaves, well, nobody will listen, you know. We're roughed up a little bit and beaten up, and they said, well, when you decide, let us know. They put us in an empty room, and then the interrogation of the other people took place. So surprisingly, about an hour later, they came and said, well, we're going to let you guys go now. We said, we didn't really ask why, but they told us, said, well, the American and the British government had intervened on your behalf, you know. The ambassador said, you know, we were too high-handed, so we're going to let you guys go, but next time don't do this again. And there and then, I found out, you know, that these Americans and the British must be the most hypocritical people in the world. The reason was that there's none of the equipment that were used to repress us that day, ranging from tear gas to guns and the handcuff that brought us to the police station that were made in Nigeria. So you make all these equipments of repression, you ship it to third world countries, as you call them. I imagine where the second world country is, you know. And then when the brutal leaders use it against their own citizens, you write, you know, a statement from your embassy saying it's high-handedness. I mean, it just didn't make sense to me. So between 1989 and 1999, when I came here, I tasted prison 8 different times in different parts of Nigeria. I've been beaten countless number of times, and I must say that the small victory from that exercise was that the universities weren't reduced from.
So pretty much nostalgic, I'll say. I have another one. This time around, it's about exposing the rot too. I want you to listen.
Have now, I purchased them personally from the land registry in the UK, which is very easy to do, but it made me broke for a while. Because I just kept, sometimes, you know, we just kept buying property information, and we look at it. And it's very difficult because they were using, as you know, beneficial owners to purchase so many of these properties. But, you know, when it comes to Nigerians, even if they buy a house in another person's name, we are so loud that somehow we will let you know that the house belongs to us. Because we are going to come to your neighborhood and have a big party and have everybody wear their big boo-boo and drive nice cars, you know, and somehow you know that the house belongs to a Nigerian man. And we get information from our brothers and sisters across the world in telling us how this has been. What is interesting, and you must know, I don't want to spend too much of your time, is that if Nigeria were to be run the right way, if the Commonwealth was not looted with the kind of impunity and wickedness that's been happening in the last 50 years, Nigeria could have been one of the best countries in the world. You know, there's enough money in Nigeria. You know, it hurts me badly when I hear people in the US or Europeans talking about, oh, you know, we give you aid, you know, every year. What they call aid is peanuts. I don't think that the UK had given Nigeria up to $1.5 billion in the last 5 years in aid. You know, I don't think so. But it's such a big deal. But you have a woman who is currently in the UK, Desiani, who had stolen just that amount from 4 oil exporting companies. Just 4. We're not talking about several other ways that she has squandered money or had frittered money away from the country, or had
vintage Sowore. They don't like him. Many of you don't like him. I understand. But when you break your mind properly, you will realize that you are wounded. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You are sad. And you just need someone to put it on. Yeah. And, you know, Sowore seems to be a perfect target for you. Because I don't know how some of you will hate him this much. And then you will be bold enough to defend other politicians in Nigeria. Some of you are so shallow-minded that you actually compare him to your corrupt, criminal, lunatic leaders. That's how bad it is. But that's how sad your lives are too. When you look at how terrible Nigeria has become, when you look at the rot and the destruction your criminal political leaders, past and present, what they have done to you, what they have done to your country, the destructions they have brought upon you, the underdevelopment, the limited opportunities, turned you to beggars in your own country. You are not even bold enough. Many of you, you are not bold enough, you know, confident enough to reject those criminals. But you are philosophers. How Sowore brought Buhari to power. Yeah, now Maiyegun don't even talk like that. Maiyegun leave that one. It was him, he's suffering, blah, 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 blah. I understand you. That's how sad your life is. And congratulations to you that you have someone that you can put it on. I mean, it's easier, isn't it? It saddens me. And I was the other day I was reading about some comments on the Chiateyoju's page. I stumbled on this and people are running riot there, blaming Deji, blaming him, cursing him, wishing him evil, simply because he's living a life that, God, why should you be worried if he's fine and living a good life? Why should you put your Nigeria miserable frustration on people who spoke out against the criminal who put you in that situation? You attack them, you abuse them, you want them hung. You nearly even lynched that same DG in Abuja because they paid some of you criminals, frustrated souls. They paid you 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira to go and kill that boy who is asking the government to protect you. That's how sad your lives are. And unfortunately, that's how sad Nigeria has made your life miserable. They want the better, they want the best. Yeah, everyone should strive for something better in their lives. It's not a bad thing to want to live a better life. You want to have a safe life. Politicians are stealing that away from you, and you watch them fritter that away. Every 4 years, you don't die head programmed idiots, collateral mumus. You are pretty much up in arms against yourselves, fighting for the same people who put you in there, your miserable existence. When you look at the people who are standing up, you put the blame on them. The people who never signed any of your budgets, the people who never signed any of your contracts, the people who never awarded any of your, the people who never sat down to make any of your laws. But you blame them. I was reading those comments. I was like, oh dear. Is this not the same Deji Adeyanju who was sharing money to these guys on his page? Helping, sharing money and all of that. They are praising him, praying for him. Nigeria, the headquarters of bad belly people. And you can tell. They steal your money. Bring some of them over here. At least to keep all of us warm anyway, you know. They put the money in the economy here. The smart government in this country uses the money to better their economy. Make sure that we have jobs, we have security, we have healthcare, we have all of this. Because, yeah, every penny that comes into the UK contributes into the economy of the UK. When you take a penny out of Nigeria, it collapses the economy of Nigeria. So think about it. David Cameron came out and he said, the amount of money being stolen from Nigeria every year, if they steal that from the UK, a year, UK will go bankrupt in 3 years. Nigeria has been bankrupted since 1966. So Nigeria has been living off the rest of their miserable existence, by the way, forced on you by the politicians that some of you will continue to brag and defend. That's how shameless you are, but it's not your fault. It is what Nigeria did to you, destroyed you, make you hate those who are also victims of the rotten system, right? Well, like they say, you know, in the basket of poverty, striking people, putting there frustrated people, people who have been denied opportunities, people who have been abused, assaulted, psychologically manipulated, religiously destroyed, and all of that. So they put all of them in that basket and they say, yeah, start fighting yourself. You start fighting yourself in that basket. Some people are climbing on top of others to get out of that basket. And when they are out of that basket, they peep through and say, oh boy, how about you? That's the exact scenario of what life is, or the life that those criminals have forced on you. But you take it up on them people. Some people even blame, you know, imagine, some people blame me for their miserable existence too. And why? Because I'm telling them that the criminals in government means no well for any of them. So they blame me for their miserable existence too. I was wondering, but Deji was sharing money throughout December. It was raising money for different causes, for different people, helping different people. What is wrong if he goes on holiday? Because he is going on holiday, leaving the people living inside the poverty capital of the world, frustrated Nigerians. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The same way they treat Omoyele Sowore, the same way they treat everyone who stands up. And then we have all these other idiots who don't know that you don't know what is called limitation. You don't know what is called respect. And it's a shame on many of you because you believe that Sowore is, in your own opinion, is supporting one Nigeria. Therefore, he deserves to be treated like a criminal. He deserves to be treated like a common criminal, even killed. Right? That's how warped and then, you know, devilish many of your minds are. But in your own warped mind, you think that makes sense too. Because someone is fighting for something that you are not fighting for. Because you are fighting, in your own opinion, you're fighting for something different. And what you're fighting for is better than what any other person is fighting for. Therefore, because they're not fighting for what you're fighting for, they deserve to be treated like a common criminal. And here you are campaigning and championing for liberation, for freedom, for independence. Abi? But you will sit down and type nonsense on social media just because you want to make yourself feel good, right? Sowore should die in prison. It should be killed. It should be this or that. Don't worry. Do you know the person who is more safer right now? I'm talking about those of you collateral mumus in Nigeria who are watching me right now. Yeah, you idiots. The most safer, I mean, the person who is most safer right now is probably the person in detention. You see all of you walking about, frustrated zombies, defending your different paymasters, defending your different slave masters, right? You are more endangered than someone that is kept in a prison. If you don't get killed by the stray bullet from the police, you are either going to get killed by any of those terrorists hanging around, or if you are lucky, you get killed. If you're not lucky, you get kidnapped. You know what I mean? And then you can face the real test of living in a failed country. So the person in prison is safer than many of you walking on the street because anything can happen to you there, and you know it. You know it. I know it. We all know it. But you put that also, rather than take it up with the criminals who make your life endangered. I mean, endanger in your own country. Yeah. Rather than take it up with them, you are putting that on a God that you did not vote for, the God you did not elect. When those who are now taking it up with the God, you won't do it. You rather want one invincible God to help you arrest the situation. Those who are now standing up, for the freedom of speech, standing up against the corrupt, rigged system, you want them killed because, according to you, they are not fighting the fight they should be fighting. I've read many comments of you idiots that will say, Maiyegun, Sowore deserve what he's facing. He should even die there. He should go and fight for the Dual Republic and leave one Nigeria nonsense alone. You are so smart, Abi. In your own opinion, you look smart. You're sounding like you're smart, Abi. You are a fool. Maybe you don't know. The reason why you are a fool is that you know it yourself. That even in your own stupid mind, you know you are not safe for asking for a freedom. Right? You want freedom, but you know you are not safe. As we speak right now, the government of Nigeria, they are busy sending army, soldiers, and detectives into the eastern part of Nigeria, looking for the people who wanted to protect themselves. So ESN, they are looking for them. They are not looking for the terrorists in Yobe forest, not looking for the terrorists in Niger or those in Borno who have now taken over 2/3 of Borno State. They are not doing that. They are sending troops down to the eastern part of Nigeria to go and kill people who want to protect themselves against invaders. But you stupid moron, you think you are better off, Abi, because you are fighting for Biafra, because you are fighting for the Dual Republic. You think you are better off, you are fighting a good cause, and therefore, whoever is not doing that with you deserves to be killed by the same system that is going to hunt you down too. That's how warped you are. And when we are all, in my own opinion, when everyone should know that you are all in danger, and the only way to suppress or fight any danger is to see the common, to see the commonness in all the victims, including yourselves. It's a simple thing. I don't think, I never knew I would have to say that to you to make you probably get your sense. If you don't get it, it's your problem. Nigeria will continue to haunt you. Sowore made it clear right? That until you get rid of this rotten rigged system, that will continue to pop up rigged elections with rigged criminals in charge of your government. Until you get rid of that rigged system, if you don't get rid of it, you will not get any independence from anybody. Yeah, they will be happy to start a civil war with you. Are they not criminals anyway? They will be happy to start a civil war. They will be able to kill more people. Nigeria is already at war. So are you going to scare Buratai from killing people? Are you really that dumb that they are afraid of war? Right? So eventually, if you don't destroy a system that is about to destroy you, you will never have any opportunity or a peaceful mind of saying we want to have our own country. So until people comes together to realize that you are all victims of a rigged system, until that system is gone, you won't have that chance of sitting down to discuss anything. But it's easier. I mean, I can sit down here and tell you that we have to go to war. Yes, we have to kill it, because I'm living in Glasgow now, Abi. I'm living in Glasgow. Possibly I won't be part of the war. I won't be part of those that will be killed or those that will be killing people. It's easier to say that. You can say that from far away. I'm not in support of that. So if that doesn't really sound well with you, then you can shove wherever it is in your mind down your throat and then choke on it. Humanity. Humanity makes you cringe when you think it is appropriate, or if anyone says it's appropriate, that people should be treated for what they believe in. We should be killed for what they believe in when they are not harming people or killing anybody. Who deserves to be killed? Nobody. But in Nigeria, you get killed for what you believe in. You get haunted. You get destroyed by the system. And even when you are making your legitimate demand, they hunt you down to kill you. What do? You regroup, find those others who are fighting the same system. Whatever causes they are fighting for, find yourself, march, move, and get rid of a system that is about to kill and destroy you. That's the ideal thing to do. Now today, everybody is now living off expectation of maybe something will happen. Something will happen. If Sowore, some said Sowore should go and fight for the Oduduwa Republic, and I ask you, so if you start fighting for the Oduduwa Republic now, they will no longer arrest him. They will no longer try to kill him. They will no longer charge him for treason. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that is fighting for Biafra, you know his story. You know what they did to him. So what makes you think that will make any difference when the effort is actually to get to destroy a system that has destroyed so many families, so many households? How do you do that? You do that first, and then you can make all your demand, and then push any other demand you want. You need to get rid of you need to get rid of those who will never have you, will never make you sit down and discuss. They told you it's non-negotiable. They say Nigeria unity is non-negotiable. What is unity in Nigeria? What is united in Nigeria? People are asking for restructuring. They will be killed. They will be killed. They're hunting people down, and they're hunting people down, and you know that. Just go against the established system, the system that says all of you will share the mystery of Nigeria. Whether in a poverty capital, you go share them. Whether in a terrorist capital, you go share them. Whether not the most terrorized people in the world, you will share them. Whether you are Yoruba, even if you are living thousands of kilometers away from Borno, you will share in the mystery. And that's exactly what Nigeria means. Is that what is non-negotiable? Is that something some of these educated don't know? So, well, some of you are already campaigning that you don't need a constitutional change to have a referendum. Again, this is 2021, okay? Let's do everything. Just make it happen. Make anything you want to make happen. Don't justify anybody being killed for standing up in for what they believe in. Don't justify that. We know some of you who are like, well, I won't say God bless Nigeria, because Nigeria has destroyed many of you, destroyed you beyond repair, destroyed you beyond any kind of any comeback. So you just have to live the rest of your life, that miserable existence, until you probably pass. And we hope the seeds and then the generation coming out of you will not be as miserable as you are. Sorry, I have no apology for my word usage, okay? If you're watching me for the first time and this makes you feel uncomfortable, welcome to the party. This is Maiyegun's diary, Politico. Ask around. So Nigeria has messed up with your mind so terribly bad that you are still finding millions, oh, not a few thousands, of millions that will defend all the criminals, even though they are going to become the victims of their own criminalities. So they say if you want to defend the Africans, if you want to fight for Africans, number one, they don't believe you are fighting for them until probably you manage to get to a near-death experience. Then you also manage to gain power, whether not by bloody or bloodless, it doesn't matter. They will think, well, they nearly killed him, so he became our leader. That's it. So if you want to fight for Africans, when you use one hand to fight the dictators and the criminal government in Africa, you have to use the other hand to stop the Africans who are going to be fighting you for fighting the government on their behalf. That's how terrible it is. That's how psychological reverse psychology works on these people. And I'm not blaming you, okay? And I'm not worried for you. I'm just saying, right? As the freedom of speech or free speech, as they call it in the world, is dwindling and disappearing. Nigerian government is also gearing up their own, social media war weapon. Remember when Laya Muhammad said, they are looking for the National Assembly to give them law? That stupid man, to give them law so that they can switch on and switch off the internet. Can you believe that? That is the mentality of those in charge of Nigeria, in charge of 200 million mumus. Okay? The Minister of Information, Misinformation, was asking that the National Assembly in Nigeria give them the law that will give them power to switch off internet in Nigeria and switch off social media, like switch. That's what he said, and hold a cake born liar. That's their dream. So now that Twitter, Facebook, and so many other platforms are, getting rid of the voice and voices of those they considered as opposition, Nigerian government will do the same. This time around, all they need is just to get law. For number one, get the social media bill law, get the hate speech law. Once they pass them, Bokwari will sign them. And then afterward, they will get a law that says the Nigerian government can switch off your internet. Some of you are saying it's impossible, Maiyegun Olodo. You have no idea. You will soon find out. Okay? So you can just wake up and all your networks will not be working. Internet, everything will not be working. So what they need to do is that whenever they want to deal with any of you who are going to stand up to ask them to be responsible as a government, when they start killing you, they need to shut down the internet. It's been done in so many parts of the world anyway. So they will do it in Nigeria. They're not going to shut down Twitter, shut down Facebook. They don't have that power. But when you get power, internet, when all the internet providers have to shut down, imagine a useless, criminally minded people. The internet is not just for browsing and socializing on social media. There are many, many businesses that relies on internet. But you see these criminals, they don't care. Because they believe that they need to protect themselves from you, the people they are leading. Do you understand that now? So they don't care. If this is going to affect other private businesses, there are so many young Nigerians who are making their money, making their living legitimately, online businesses, and all that stuff. They need the internet to continue to run for them to be able to run their small businesses. So since Nigeria won't help them, legit, many of these young guys in Nigeria. But in Nigeria, even those who claim to be educated, once they see you with laptop, you are a Yahoo boy. That's how stupid many of them are. And these are the people that will have opinion. When they are talking about things, they will come on social media, they have opinion too. And when you read some of these shallow, stupid opinions, you just have to shake your head. When you carry laptop in Nigeria, you are considered a Yahoo boy. You are considered a fraudster, even by those educated people. I'm telling you this today. There are genuine, legit millions of young Nigerians who have found their own core on YouTube, on different social media platforms, making their money there legitimately. So the criminals in Nigeria don't give a damn. They are ready to shut down internet because they want to stop those who are talking about Boko Haram. They want to stop those who want to share the true story about the killings in the northern Nigeria, killings in the southern Nigeria, the police brutality, the corruption, the expose, the scandal, all these things that we are now having access to on social media, right? They want to protect themselves from you, and they don't care if your business dies or collapses. These are part of what you should look out for in 2021, this year. I'm just telling you beforehand. Don't celebrate what will later consume you. Don't celebrate the, what do you call it? The silence of free speech. Don't support. Don't defend it, because you will become victims too. And if you are actually living in Nigeria, I'm going to advise you, don't publicly support this, because your government also have something in store for you. As for our people in Yorubaland, Amotekun, and those leaders of thought in Yorubaland, let me say this to you. Some of you are going to be killed as well. Some of you are going to be kidnapped if you continue to play politics with this security issue. If you continue to play neutral, if you continue to keep short, if you continue to speak in hushed tones, just because you don't want to offend the criminals in Abuja, you will be killed. You will be kidnapped. We will read your news. We will condole, we condole with your families, those who are going to become victims. But you can stop it. You can stop it by using your influence now to assert your influence in the security situation in Yorubaland. Make your position known. Stand by it. If you are going to be killed, let the whole world see those who are going to come and kill you. And that will be those who are against you protecting Yorubaland. I have been hearing rumor that it's going to get worse in Oyo State security-wise this year. The effort is to ensure that Seyi Makinde is completely rooted out of Oyo State by escalating insecurity. This should not be taken lightly. It shouldn't be taken for granted. We know what they are capable of, right? We know that this Boko Haram of thing, how it all started and how it is going, how it has become a business for those who actually started it for destroying a government they didn't want to continue. So if they are planning something in Oyo State, I'm calling on all the Yoruba sons and daughters, forget all this, your stupid political affiliations, okay? Because whether you are PDP or APC, when you become a victim or when you get killed, they won't ask you whether you support APC or PDP. If you don't believe me, go to the northern Nigeria, where those who are shouting Saibaba, I'm talking about the Saibarbarians, the Buhari idiots. They are the victims of the bandit. They are the victims of Fulani terrorists. They are the victims of Boko Haram. They are the victims of the poverty capital of the world we are talking about. Every vices, every wrong thing that is wrong with Nigeria, they share 80% of that, even though Boko Haram is their president. So I'm saying this to you, and I hope it helps you. I'm going to see you guys later today. If you have the time, just join me on YouTube. I won't be coming back on Facebook today. It will be on YouTube later tonight. And for those who are already, for those who might want to check that out, and for those of you already watching on YouTube and you are yet to subscribe, I am here to see you show that support in your engagement there. How come we only have around 30 people out of almost 600 people on YouTube who have shown that, well, a thumb up? Do it and also do this. Thank you very much. Subscribe before you go. I am reading someone. His name is Daniel Jacob. That's the power of social media. Sowore is a thief. Jason Lincoln, tell yourself the truth. Somebody is calling Sowore thief. I know some of you deranged idiots on social media, okay, who actually believes that. I have read where people called Nnamdi Kanu thief. You see, you this low-life bunch of idiots on social media, right? It will make you a lot of, it will do you a lot of good if you can at least, don't be anonymous. Show us what is told. I know how many of you low-life bunch of morons can hide behind those parts and say things that you know you can't really defend, okay? Some people came out, they call Nnamdi Kanu thief. We asked them, what did he steal from you? Did he steal your money? Some said Nnamdi Kanu is a fraudster. We ask you, did he defraud you? Did you pay him any money that he didn't give any service for? They couldn't come up, but when you look at them very well, they have their own personal hatred, personal grudges with this character, with these guys. So if you call Sowore a thief, right, we would expect him, at least for now, Nigerian government wants evidence, something to convict Sowore. Maybe you can help them. Go and give it to them. You know what I'm talking about? Tell them that Sowore is a thief and you have evidence. Maybe that's all they need, all they have been looking for to convict him. And don't just hide behind your keypad. I mean, it's easier, okay? It's easier. Some of you who are coming from the background of your disdain, your heartbreak from Goodluck Jonathan losing election, from PDP losing election, and some of you losing your means of livelihood. Some of you are now, some of you were benefiting from PDP then, for the period PDP was in power. And since APC came, and some of your godfathers have sacrificed all of you, some of you are now living outside Nigeria. Those who are not living outside Nigeria, whenever you see Sowore and you see Sahara reporters, you blame them for your PDP loss. But you don't blame your Atifku. You don't blame your Saraki. You don't blame other bunch of rogue and criminals you probably defend. You will defend them first, or you will kill Sowore first before you touch them. You bunch of low-life, faceless idiots. I say this with all my chest, okay? So if you think he's a thief, why not call the Nigerian government? They may even pay you money for having evidence that they can use to convict Sowore. Why not do that and stop being an ass on social media? I'll see you again later tonight, guys. Enjoy the rest of the morning, okay? And then keep it safe. Good morning.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì
máa ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹ̀yin